Hello friends, I am Rahul Gupta from Starts with Why. So again in the Corporate Insight, we are going to discuss one more interesting interview topic. What are the toughest decisions you have ever made in your corporate world? Okay. Now, whenever this question is asked first time, correct, you take a little more time to figure out which is your toughest decision actually. Okay. So sometimes people start telling, okay, toughest decision of their life, toughest decision, correct, of something schooling time, that okay, I basically took engineering, that was my toughest decision. But the question is how that is going to get benefit to the person, how it is going to benefit to the interviewer panel. Okay, so always whenever we answer these questions, it has to be in relevance to the company or to the job that you are applying for. That only can get you to the top list of the hiring panel. Okay, so now I will be discussing in this something called a ceiling fan technique. Okay, and this is a very fantastic technique. So stay tuned till last to understand what is the ceiling fan technique, to tell the answer what is the toughest decision you have ever made. Okay, while answering the interview question. So stay tuned till last. Now let's move on. So again we will bucketize this question into four categories. Okay, so the first one is what the interviewer panel is actually looking for through this question. The second one is what are the common mistake everyone makes. The third one is why the interviewer panel actually asked this question at the first place, what is the thought is going in their brain. And the fourth one is what is the secret recipe that has worked for me. Okay, so I will be discussing that secret recipe. So let's move on. So the first one is comes what the interviewer panel is actually looking for through this question. Okay, so generally whenever these kind of questions are asked and what is the connotation behind that, there might be some difference. So if we understand that proper connotation, we can frame our answer in a very fantastic manner that can impress the interviewer panel. So whenever the question is asked what was the toughest decision you ever had to make, then what is the meaning actually? They want you to demonstrate that you can logically make, okay, decisions for the company. That is the first thing. Okay, because your toughest decision means it is not based on your emotion, it is based on the logical way. Okay, it is a data driven. They want you to understand what is the process that you take and what is the solution you are going to opt for. Okay, so that is what they are actually looking for. Now what are the common mistake everyone makes? Common mistake is sometimes they start giving a too much information about the decision that they have taken. Okay, that is not required. We have to be crisp and concise whenever they are asking this question. Okay, not deciding which qualities to highlight. Okay, sometimes you told everything but you don't know what qualities actually interviewer panel should look for. So you need to highlight the proper qualities that are relevant to the job, okay, while answering this question. The third is not able to justify the decision. So you were having these options, you took some decision, but there is a disconnect. Then there might be a problem that again you are not taking the data driven or the logical thinking based decision. It is based on your feelings. You are little biased toward particular. Blaming the teamwork. Okay, sometimes people go in a blaming mode, okay, while answering this question, that I took the toughest decision where other were in no, was not in favor, so you started blaming in that. Okay, don't do that kind of mistake. Okay, going negative. Okay, sometimes you tell, okay, in the negative manner that okay, this is the decision, okay, I took. It was negative but this was basically um, can affect this or affect that. Okay, sometimes it might go negative, okay, or against you also. Showing the pity party. Okay, what is the meaning of that? Sometimes you are taking that, oh my god, okay, drinking a glass of wine was the toughest decision I ever had to make. So it should not happen that the interviewer panel is actually laughing that your difficulty level itself is a low. Okay, so we should not show that the pity party. Okay, now what are the things that okay, now the next question is why the interviewer panel is actually asking this question for. What is the thought process that is going in their mind? Okay, so they are thinking that you should tell how decisive and confident you are while making your choices. Okay, or what is the you should show your ability to defend your actions, that why you chose what you chose. Second is they are also looking for, do you see feedback from your team, from your colleagues, correct, whenever you make any decision, or you are basically make all the decision yourself. Like, do you include all the people or you are making decision yourself? The third thing is to learn about your strategic thinking skills. Okay, do you actually see, do you do any kind of a cause and effect relationship? Do you understand any risk assessment? Okay, do you think logically, strategically, down the line? Okay, all these things. Now the fourth one is whether you follow the company procedure and respond to the ethical dilemma. Sometimes there might be some situations where both options looks fine, but one of the option has the ethical dilemma. It might be company ethics, it might be your personal ethics. How do you take that decision? Okay, so these kind of questions are very tricky to answer. Now how should you answer this question? So let's understand the fantastic technique, okay, we call the ceiling fan technique. Okay, so ceiling fan technique. Now how to make the toughest decision? So there are 4 steps in this, we call ceiling fan techniques. Now the first one is, whenever you are answering this question, you should explain why the decision was toughest. Why do you think that decision was toughest? Because from your perspective it might be toughest, you know all the information, the interviewer panel doesn't know. So you have to make it very clear why this is toughest. Second thing is the process you followed in reaching it. Okay, what is the process that you adopted? It might be anything. Okay, third thing is what is the effective way you carried out, because to reach to that process there can be multiple ways. Which effective process you carried and why you carried. Okay, that is the third step you should tell. And the fourth one is what is the beneficial result, what is the result you got out of that toughest decision. Correct. So if you frame your answer in the ceiling fan technique, okay, there are high chances that you will be on the top list, okay, in the hiring. So let me give you the very fantastic examples, sample example, so that you might get a more clarity. So what is the sample answer? So you can say, hello sir, hello ma'am, one of the hardest decision I ever have to make, the choosing between the higher education and the traditional grocery business store. Okay, traditional grocery business store when I was at the school level. Okay, so being studied in the Hindi medium, which is one of the most used language in India till 12th grade. Now choosing the grocery store was the very easiest path for me. Okay, because my family was there, they can easily transfer the knowledge to me, but I chose the toughest path of education to fulfill my dreams even in the odd situation. Okay, and this journey was very difficult, it was not easy, but I surrounded myself with the people who always inspired me to do many things. Okay, and cut off those people who are always trying to put me down. Okay, so this is the step actually I took, and in the path of this there were so many setbacks, but I never gave hope because I was surrounded with the inspirer people. Whenever I go down, these people will inspire me, boost me up, and I will again will go on my path. And I believe this is my toughest decision which led me to reach to this interview in one of the best organization in XXX industry. Okay, and I believe once I join your team, correct, I will keep continuing to take the fantastic decision for the team, for the company, and for my growth. Okay, so if you answer in such a way, then there is a high probability that you might get that job. Okay, because the interviewer panel is looking for to the point, crisp and connected, it's a proper flow to answer the question. Okay, so if you are telling your answer in this way, there are high chances, correct, you can get that job. So hope this would have given you the enough insight. Okay, please keep sharing this video with your friends who are in need, so that once they crack the interview, you might get a nice party from them. So like the video, hit the subscribe channel, okay, and see you in the next video. Thank you. Keep learning.